the Guardians from Janet's vision?
Hey, what's up everyone? For today's video, I'll be going over a new Pyromancer build that I've created. Honestly, I do believe this build is the second best Pyromancer build in the game next to the Ash Blast build. Let me know if you agree or disagree and why. So, saying that, let's dive right into the build. Starting off, for my primary weapon, I'm going to be using the Juggler with the mods Scrap Grenade and Fortress. The reason I'm going with this mod combo is because Scrap Grenade is procced after every reload. Seeing that I have a 1.5 second reload time, this means I can proc the mod every 1.5 seconds, dealing 226,000 flat damage with a 5 meter blast radius. And that's not including any other damage boosts or modifiers. For those who don't know the mod Scrap Grenade, it works exactly like your typical grenade launcher in a shooting game, lobbing an explosive out of your weapon, then when it hits the ground or an enemy, it'll explode doing a lot of damage with a good area of effect. The second mod is Fortress, literally just being used to buff the damage of Scrap Grenade and all my other characters' sources of damage. My secondary weapon is going to be a Death Shield with the mods Moaning Winds and Fortress. The only time I'm really using this is when there's either strong elites, Broodmother, or any other hard to kill enemies. Just using this to pop off a lot of damage in a short amount of time. To be completely honest, you don't even have to use this weapon or any kind of secondary, just because of how much damage, low cooldown, and versatility the Juggler gives. I will say having the Death Shield with this setup will speed up pod rescue clear times, but no matter what, you're going to get gold every time with or without a secondary. The pistols is the same thing, Moaning Winds and Clip Combustion, doing a lot of damage in a short amount of time. Using this as well with the Death Shield to do a double Moaning Winds proc is just complete overkill, and you might even get bored with how easy the pod rescues become. But again, just an option and your choice completely. Now, moving to the armor, for my headpiece I'm using the Helmet of the Akari, that comes with the attributes of Anomaly Power, which is used to boost my skill damage and to also increase the damage of the status effect Burn. Skill Life Leech, which is going to let me heal from the damage of my skills, including the Burn status effect. And Status Power to also increase the amount of damage Burn will do on an enemy. For mods, I'm using Fire Tsunami to increase the width of Heat Wave, making it easier to hit multiple enemies. The second mod is Unstoppable Force, which is going to matter and make a lot more sense when I get into the skill tree. With my chest piece, I'm using the Armor of the Akari with the attributes of Anomaly Power, Skill Life Leech, and Cooldown Reduction so I can use my skills as frequently as possible. The mods I'm using are branded to increase my damage against anyone that is hit with the skill Thermal Bomb, mainly using that skill on elites or more challenging enemies to get rid of them faster. The second mod is Tidal Wave, so I can use the skill Heat Wave an additional time before the cooldown starts. For the legs, I'm going with the Waistcloth of the Akari to complete the set and get the active bonus of a 50% Anomaly Power increase with every enemy that is hit by the skill Heat Wave. The attributes on it are Anomaly Power, Skill Life Leech, and Cooldown Reduction. The mods I have on are Anomaly Echo to increase my Anomaly Power, and Captain Hunter to do increased damage to elites. Going to the gloves, the attributes I'm going with are Anomaly Power, Status Power, and Cooldown Reduction. Mods, I'm just using Ride the Wave to get an additional Heat Wave, and Bullet Kindling to do more damage to enemies afflicted with Burn. Lastly are the boots with the exact same attributes as my gloves: anomaly power, status power, and cooldown reduction. For the mods I have on are burnout, so that anyone hit by the skill Heatwave receive an additional 25% damage from any sources afterwards. The second mod is going to be Twice as Hot. Being completely honest right now, the mod Twice as Hot is hands down the most underrated mod in the entire game. The amount of damage you can get off from it using any skill, doesn't matter if it hits them or not, just as long as they have the burn status effect placed on them, they'll take almost 40,000 damage. So the more you're able to activate your skills, the more this mod will proc. Also, this is 40,000 flat damage, meaning this is not including all the damage modifiers I have on this build, which will make it do a stupid amount of damage. That's everything I have on the weapons and armor. So let's move over to the skills. For my first skill, I'm using Heatwave because of the Akari armor set bonus, the amount of times I can activate the skill proccing the mod Twice as Hot, placing a burn status on anyone hit by it, and also another mod I have on, Burnout, which makes enemies take an additional 25% damage from any sources after being hit by the skill. All around, just an amazing skill to have on. The second skill is Feed the Flames, which I'm using to deal damage, receive a very good heal whenever I use it, it's short cooldown, being able to interrupt and stun enemies, and an anomaly buff that's in the class tree whenever I activate the skill. Lastly, Thermal Bomb, the exact same thing, to do damage, short cooldown, interrupt enemies, do a lot of AoE damage, and mainly for the mod I have on, Branded, which makes that enemy hit by this skill take an additional 40% increased damage from any source. So this skill is mainly going to be used and focused on elites and very strong enemies. Now let's go into the class tree. I'm going with the middle branch so I can get the most protection, cooldown reduction on Heatwave, a decent amount of anomaly power, and resistance pierce for the mod Unstoppable Force. If you found the video entertaining or helpful, drop a like, or if you see there's something I can change or add to make this build more effective, leave a comment down below on what you would change or add. Subscribe if you want to see more Outriders content. I post every 2 weeks on the Saturday. That's all for this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.